Yeah, we just started summer, Andy.
Did we? I thought it was still spring.
No, it's definitely summer now. It's June. It's midsummer, Andy. What the fuck?
We just had summer solstice.
It's summer. You all right there? You got a little lispy?
Hello and welcome to the Not Good Enough podcast. Host. Oh my god!
We're gonna keep going, Andy. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Tough it out.
Me. Hello and welcome to the Not Good Enough podcast, hosted by David and Andy. Reported live on June 25th.
That's
That's
Andy.
David.
Oh, all
And
right.
this is episode 15, Vanilla Coca Delight. What's going on,
Yeah.
David?
Dude, I'm out here chilling, bro. You know how it goes.
I hear you had a day off. You went to Hobby Lobby.
Man, I went
Is
to
that what
Hobby.
you do on your Is what
Yeah.
you do on your downtime?
Yeah, I joined the white people over there in the fucking arts and crafts section. Yeah, I'm gonna make a tie-dye shirts after this with my girlfriend, so it's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, nice little gay activity to do together, you know.
Sure. Killing some shirts. I mean, dyeing some shirts. There you go.
Yeah. Let's see, Andy. What's new with you, bro?
But hey, well, I collected a whole bunch of information for our show. I did the Anchor, YouTube, Facebook, all the things. I wanted to start seeing some of the actual numbers and to add to our little show update in the beginning. So as of right now for Anchor, we have 147 plays. I believe that is in the lifetime of our show, which is great. We're it's about
148 now. There's a new.
Hey,
yeah.
yeah.
I just checked it.
But that's about like what 15 episodes. So we're a little more than 10 plays an episode, which is great because we haven't really advertised that much. Let's see. So our estimated audience size is 9. So yeah,
I'm getting up there.
YouTube, we got 7 subscribers. Thank you. So the last 28 days, we're up 130%, making it 47 views in the last 4 weeks. Facebook, we have 128 followers. Now, David, you didn't know that because you're not on Facebook.
Nope. Social media is the devil.
It sure is. Let's see. Oh, also, we have been in an article in the Independent Alligator.
Yeah.
That's the giant student-run newspaper here in town with the College of the University of Florida.
Yeah, we got interviewed by Katie Delk. Katie
That's right.
Is the staff writer over there for the
Avenue.
The Avenue. There you go.
It's I think that's a subsection of the newspaper.
Yeah.
And so
she interviewed us, and she interviewed a whole bunch of podcasts, and we're in the article. We really appreciate it.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks, Katie, for reaching out to us. That was very kind. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to, further express, what we like to do, as well as, so in the article, we were one of 4 podcasts that was interviewed. So it ranged in this article. It ranged from different types of shows. Like there was one that has 800 plus listeners that they've been doing this for 10 times as long as we've been doing it. And then there's us,
Then
so it's
us,
a big yeah. Then there's these guys, so it's kind of neat.
Yeah, it was some new. Yeah, fucking put our thoughts out there even more. That's interesting. I was surprised we even got hit up with that because we haven't been doing this long, and it's not like we're super big.
Yeah.
So it was really, it was a great experience, and I got quoted more than Andy, so I like to flex on him real quick.
Yeah, well, David wouldn't stop talking.
So well,
it's bound to happen.
It's because I didn't say the word 860 times.
Listen, man, I have a reputation. So, what's new with you, David? Do you still hate your life?
Well, that's a permanent that's a permanent stature in my life. But
Okay,
I do have this story that happened yesterday at work.
tell me.
So remember last episode we on our
No.
what makes it well, okay, all right. Well, it was last week on our last episode,
Oh.
episode 14. On our what makes us mad episode, our
Mm-hmm.
segment of the episode, we
Yep.
talked about people that just won't shut the fuck up. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, my example was this new intern that we have at work.
Yeah.
And well, I told the other intern that I had a podcast because the article came
Ooh.
out, and I was telling him, "Hey, look, the article's out." Well, yesterday morning, the my manager, the pharmacist there, she was like, "Hey, is the article out yet for the podcast?" And I'm like, I started sweating because she said the other intern's right there in front of her, the one we talked about. I'm like, oh
uh,
shit! I started sweating, and I look at her. I'm like, nah, I haven't heard anything. And she's like, yeah, for the podcast. And then the fucking intern that we talked about, she turns over. Oh my god, you have a podcast? I want to listen. And I'm over here. I'm drenched, Andy. I'm fucking drenched. I'm so nervous. My fucking coworker right next to me, he's with the intern. He's teaching her something. The other one, the good one, and
yep.
they both turn around. They look at me. And they're like, and I'm like, holy shit! I completely ignore her, and I'm like, and I look at the pharmacist. I'm like, yeah, no, I haven't heard anything. And I start making like fucking. I start winking and shit, like a fucking, like I'm missing a set of chromosomes, and I completely ignore the intern. And I just want to take that. Nothing happened to that. She didn't mention after that. Thank God. But I just want to take this time out to apologize. Um, I just want to apologize for there was like a good 2 minutes there where I actually gave a fuck, and I apologize for letting that seep through my personality. I will never give a fuck ever. So I apologize for having 2 minutes of care in my life, and it will never happen again.
You poor thing, man. Uh well, you got to be careful what you say, man.
Nah, I don't give a fuck anymore, Andy. I only cared for 2 minutes. He should have caught me yesterday at that time. It's too late now.
Uh,
I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
That girl could fucking talk, man.
well, now she's gonna listen to this episode, and she's
Oh,
like,
she ain't
"What?"
gonna. Nah, I told my nah. I went on break and then I came back early and I went to the farmers. I'm like, look, I need you to shut the fuck up. I need you not to bring that shit up anymore. That shit was it was on the spot. I need you not to do that.
You had to go change your pants and everything.
Yeah, dude. No,
Poor thing.
and then after break, like a couple hours after, um, the other tech, she found the article and she's like, "Oh, David, the article's here." And I went up to her and I like fucking touched her arm, like, "Can you shut the fuck up? Like, I don't need you to fucking say this shit. She's right next to you."
Damn.
Yeah, bro. That shit was. It was hot as fuck in that pharmacy for like a good 10 minutes. I was sweating my ass off.
Oh shit, David's got the COVID.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It was hot as hell. I got so nervous. She was so excited. Nobody else wants to. Nobody I've ever talked to has been like, "Oh, let me listen to the podcast." She was excited as fuck. She was ecstatic. Can you imagine if I give her the information and she listens and she's like, "You fucking talked about me and you met me for like 2 days prior to that."
Yep.
Like, yeah,
See now,
you don't shut the fuck up.
now, if you didn't say all that, we'd have that many more listeners, man.
That's just one. I don't care.
Oh no, that's not the case.
Well, Andy, we got this podcast is our opinion, and in my opinion, she talks way too damn much. She says the word like so much, Andy, in a matter of one sentence, it's like 80% of the sentence. What there was like a good like 3 minutes yesterday towards the end of the shift where she said the word like 150 fucking times in like 15 seconds. I had to go to the restroom because I was starting to fucking have an aneurysm from all the stress of hearing the word like so many fucking times.
Like how?
But yeah, that's what happened with me yesterday. and that was basically my whole week because I don't leave my house other than that.
Okay, very nice, man.
Well, let's go into our next segment, Andy.
The next segment, like the first one?
Yeah, our first segment of the day.
The first segment of the day. On to current events.
See, Andy, GRU is proposing raising the rates.
Well, this is they are very consistent. I tell you what, not only in providing great customer service, providing a great product, but also consistently raising rates. They have a monopoly in this area. Okay, like GRU, Gainesville Regional Utilities, and unfortunately, they're like the only provider for electricity, at least for the most part. For this area. And they'll continue to raise rates because, we need more money. So now their excuse this time is that given the impacts of potential revenue losses resulting from business closures and potential bad debts from customers whose services have been left on during the pandemic, GRU's year-end reserves are projected to be lower than anticipated. So now they want more money to cover their losses.
Man, the thing is, it's already expensive. Like on the beginning article, it says already burdened with some of the highest rates in the state.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have to pay more.
Yep. We got comments from other people. It says, long story short, we're about to pay GRU more yet again. This other person says, ridiculous. And then this other person says, my God, can someone please stop? Please make them stop raising rates.
Absolutely, Mary. We agree with you.
Now, I will tell you this. Like last month, we actually had the highest utility bill that we have had since we moved in. David, can you guess how much it was?
150.
It was $151.
Holy shit, I was really close.
You were like fucking spot on. Now, here's what's interesting. With our old apartment, it was like $200, right? Now, and it didn't have, it did have central air, but that shit was not insulated. Like that building was made in the 50s, right? And we're on the second story. There's a big part of the big room that had nothing but glass windows, and then that shit's not insulated. Anyway, so moving into this place, our utilities bill went down, even though that we have the central air on the regular. We keep it at 75 to 73 in here, and because we're like, oh shit, the utility bill is not that bad compared to how it was.
Let's up that bitch, and then look what happens.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what we did differently. I think it's just been hotter. But I mean, we've been budgeting. Yeah, we've been working. We've been budgeting for $150 every month, and just now we hit our maximum budget. It was it averaged like it. Oh, it's not our goal to raise up our utility bill. Shit. But we've been averaging like $130. Every month.
That's crazy, bro. You want to know why? Because it's you, your wife, and your little kitty, right? Mm-hmm. And you guys have the lights on the whole fucking time. At least whenever I go there, every light, yes, every light. And I live in a 1-bedroom, 600 square feet by myself, right? And I'm barely in this bitch. I'm only in this bitch at night, and I pay like fucking $95 average.
Well, when I was living in the apartment before I met my wife, that was a 720 square feet apartment. It was 1 bedroom, and I was never there, David, Remember, I had that design job, and then after that, then I went to Walgreens. Right, I was working 65 hours a week. Like, I was never home, and my utility bill was like $70 because I was
What
never
the
there.
fuck?
The lights were never on. Like, I lived in a cave.
I mean, there's no lights on in my house ever, like at all. Like only
Yeah,
when
but
I shower, and that's because I need to find the soap. But I never keep the lights on. I guess it's my screen
right,
projector and my PS4. That bitch is on all night.
right. But still, I mean, that's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, $90. Well, I mean, it's not that bad. It's not, but you compare them to you're double the fucking thing. And you're barely paying. Well, now you're paying basically double, but mine's gonna go up too. This is hot as hell. I
Yeah.
actually have my air on now because it's hot as fuck, bro. Like even when
Mhm.
I'm free balling in my own house, bro, I'm sweating down to my crack.
Yeah, yeah. Um, you know, there's people that live in Florida. They invest in like fans. You know, just to get the air moving around and circulating. Either it be a ceiling fan or like a floor fan. One of those box fans.
I
Buy
have
it for
one.
$10.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have one. I never use it. I only use my ceiling fan.
and you can play around with that. Get the air circulating.
Yeah, I mean, I always keep my ceiling fan on because it makes
But
a lot of
what?
noise and it distracts from the
Yeah.
gunshots when I wake up in the morning.
Nothing like getting your heart going. Um, we we have been trying to upgrade our place. It's not an apartment anymore. We've been trying to upgrade our home with LED lights, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So we've been doing that, and I got a ceiling fan in my room. Listen, man, daylight, that brightness, that's where it's at. Okay. I got I got some light in my office that's like a yellow, and the fan is such that the light bulbs that we have now, it doesn't fit. Like, it's some weird imported fan that it's not like a common light, which really pisses me off. So now I got to buy another light fixture, another fan for my ceiling. But anyway, everywhere in the house is now like this really bright white that you can actually see now. Like, it used to be like really dark. So
Me and Andy are the opposite. Just realized that. You like that bitch white and clean like a fucking like a brand new hospital. I like my
David, don't
like
get me
my shit
wrong,
dark.
man.
I like my
I
shit
liked it
dark.
dark too. Like, I liked it dark, but now, like, I liked it dark when I wasn't proud of where I was. Because
I
I didn't want to see it.
I
You
like
know.
my house like I like my women dark, Andy.
Yeah. Okay. It's fine. I liked it dark because I wasn't happy where I was at. But now I'm really proud of the place where I'm at. Now I want to be home all the time, and now I want to see what I got going on.
Yeah, no, I'm. It's not. I don't keep the lights off because I'm. I mean, yeah, I'm depressed. My fucking life is my life, but but
Right.
I don't know. I'm just used to it at this point. I don't know. I'm more comfortable this way, but I'm still
Sure.
happy ish there,
Yeah.
kind of. Whenever it comes,
Yeah.
whenever it decides to show up in my life,
hmm
happiness, and then it depletes away slowly but quickly.
So let's circle back to the GRU proposing raising rates, and then we can finish up with that. So the article concludes down at the bottom saying that uh,
Yeah,
Newberry City Commissioner said people who want to leave Gainesville might come to neighboring towns like Newberry.
that's exactly what I'm
He
trying to do.
said, "Yeah, well, I mean that's also very common throughout the country. If you work like, for example, in New York, if you work in New York, you may not be living in New York because it's cheaper to live out in the country. Like, I
Yeah, New
know
York.
that there's people that." there's people that live out in the country here around the Gainesville area, but they work in Gainesville, but they commute for an hour because it's a fraction of the cost of living as far as like their house. You know what I mean? But anyway, so this guy, the Newberry city commissioner, he said that they are welcome, but he is not interested in them coming, meaning the people from Gainesville, bringing their politics and doing the same thing they did in Gainesville.
What
so
a
this so the Gainesville City Commission has a lot to consider. We'll see what happens, man. But it wouldn't
he doesn't
surprise me
have to worry
because
about
of the
me.
way this year.
He doesn't have to worry about me because I'm not into politics. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna
Right.
listen to my music. I'm gonna ride out.
All right, man. What's next?
Let's see. We got games of the week.
Games of the week.
All right. So today's game of the week, or this week's game of the week, is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I tried to get Andy to download Warzone, which is the battle royale expansion of the game. Andy's retarded, and he couldn't find the Warzone pack, and he didn't want to spend money on the game.
Listen, now I want to state that I personally don't like to spend money. Right. I'm getting better at that. I'm stingy. I also like to call it thrifty. But I don't want to buy stuff. I don't want to buy games because I already have games that I like to I'm a completionist, right? I want to get 100% on all the things. But anyway, I misunderstood, David, that the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the Warzone was what you were talking about. The Battle Royale. Like I thought it was just Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Now I have played the game before, the different versions like Modern Warfare 2 and whatnot, like way back in the day.
Well, this is a complete remake.
But yeah, like I thought it was just another game, right? How they've been doing. So I'm gonna let you take this over, and yeah, tell me what's going on with this new game.
All right, so Call of Duty Modern Warfare is a remake from the old Modern Warfare. It's been like 12 years now, I think, dude. It's been a long ass time, I want to say. And Andy, did you play Modern Warfare, the old one?
I mean, I have. Now with my thing is that when it comes to the multiplayer game, like I was never really a big fan, right? I mean, I was okay, but it was not my type. It wasn't my cup of tea because I don't want to play a game where I only live for like 30 seconds.
Wow, you suck.
It's not that I suck. I just don't get it. There, for example, there's no way I can get better 30 seconds at a time because I keep on dying.
Kill them first, Andy.
I can't because they kill me first.
Yeah, you suck. You're a noob. You're a pleb.
Call me all the names you want, man. It's a fact. You can't get better if you keep on dying. You spawn
good,
and then boom, kill.
Get good, kid. But look, so
that was my traumatizing experience with playing online with Call of Duty. But I always enjoyed the campaign.
See, I always enjoyed the campaign too, but I was actually good at the multiplayer. This one, dude, surprisingly, so it has the same characters as the old Modern Warfare. It's a complete remake. The story's a little bit different. I have not played the campaign on this one, mostly because yeah. So the game came out last year, and I heard about it. I heard that they revamped the shooting and stuff. And I always like Call of Duty, but I didn't really like the futuristic stuff. And then I played World War II, which came out I think the year prior, and I fucking hated it. I like World War II. It was a great time. But
yeah, it was pretty popular. I mean, we're still talking about it today.
Yeah, no, World War II was a great time, but the spawns were god awful. That was a game where you didn't even last 30 seconds, and you last fucking like 3 because they would be behind you and you spawn in the worst fucking areas. That shit just ruined the game for me in a whole. And then Black Ops 4 came out, and it was I didn't really like it too much. It was whatever. So, when this game came out, I was like, I mean, I heard they revamped the shooting. Yeah, it's whatever. Not something I would want to pay $60 for at the moment. Then one day, Micah, our good friend Micah, fucking hits us up, and he's like, "Oh, let's download Warzone." I'm like, "What's that?" He's like, "It's the battle royale for Modern Warfare." I'm like, "I don't really got money to spend." He's like, "It's free." I'm like, "I bet, dude." As soon as I played Warzone, bro, I fell in love with the game. The shooting is so fucking great. Like, it feels nice. It's very, very like responsive and great, and they put a lot of thought into it. The game is big as fuck, by the way. It's just like 100 and something gigs.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that was just the Warzone part of it. There's more. It's more gigs with the fucking game. It's so big that they had to put a patch in that lets you download packs of the game, like sections of the game. So if you want to play Warzone, you can download the Warzone one. If you want to play the campaign, you got the campaign. If you want to play multiplayer, you can download just the multiplayer one. That's how big this fucking game is, Andy.
Okay.
And I'm just in love with the game. I'm playing Warzone the whole time. I actually ended up buying the full game because of how much I actually liked. It was very rewarding, and I love that. I actually spent $10 on the fucking battle pass too, Andy. And I usually
Wow.
I usually don't spend money on battle passes or any of that type of shit. Every game has a fucking
Mm-hmm.
battle pass now. But I actually bought that shit because I'm actually interested in this fucking game. It caught my attention.
Wow, man.
And me and Mike have been playing this shit forever, and we've been hitting a little stump. We've been losing a lot, but we got a win the other day, and I feel proud. But
Oh
also,
yeah.
also Micah's not the best. He's not. I guess it's because my TV's really big and I can see a whole bunch of shit, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Micah's TV is like really fucking small. And I'm like, Micah, there's a guy right in front of you. He's like, where? I'm like, right there. Like, where you aiming at? Like, right there. Where? Like, you see that shit that's
Dead.
moving on your fucking screen? That one. No, he died 30 seconds ago. But I'm just telling him with the kill cam. You see that guy over
Yeah.
there you were aiming at? That was the guy. But yeah, I found the game really fucking fun. And Andy, you should actually fucking download the Warzone part of it. It's free, and give it a try, and then give us an update next week on our what's new with us.
Okay.
So I highly recommend you guys. It's free to fucking try Warzone. I mean, if you have the space on your,
If you got the space.
if you have the space on your fucking PS4 or fucking Xbox, PC, if you have the space, man, go right ahead, dude. It's
Yeah.
free. Give it a
I might
try.
have to dust off one of my external drives. Shit.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, you can bust out 2 just in case. That shit is big.
Ooh. 100 gigs, huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, the map is fucking big as hell, and you can go into most of the buildings. Like, most of the buildings are openable in Warzone.
Okay.
You can go in most of the buildings. Most of the buildings have a couple floors. Like, the airport's really big. There's a lot of big sections in the map, and it's a lot of detail. Like, they put a lot of attention to detail, and that's why I really fucking appreciate that shit.
Yeah, the so it's one big ass map I can see. And it looks like there's different like I'm on the website, it's callofduty.com/warzone.
Hmm.
They have this strategy guide and there's all these different sections. It's broken up into 5 different quadrants or sectors as they call it. So let's see. So it's like what's the name of the place?
Verdansk.
Uh Verdansk. Yeah.
Verdansk. Yeah.
Verdansk. So it's in this epic sized chapter, we investigate every single location across the TAC map, flagging over 330 points of interest along the way. Expect an interactive map, detailed overviews of every notable location, and flags indicating the finest ambush points, loot, and much more. So this This is massive. The images on here, they look very nice. Graphics look great. And so the battle royale, as you were talking about, there's 2 epic game modes on this one massive map, right? It's plunder is a game mode, race to deposit the most cash
Which
in
is actually
this
pretty
all
fun.
new
I'm not
game
gonna lie.
mode.
It's pretty fun.
And then the quote unquote classic battle royale, that's actually isn't all that old. That game mode, drop in with 150 player firefight to be the last squad standing. Now, I think that is impressive. It's 150 players, because you got Fortnite, which was like what, the first battle royale type.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the first, but it was. I would say it was the first really big one because it was
Really big
Fortnite and
one.
PUBG
Yes, yeah, they came out roughly around the same time.
roughly around the same time. Yeah.
Because yeah, I remember G. I was watching Stone Mountain 64, that dude, and that guy, yeah, he's pretty cool. But I mean, PUBG was what, 100 players at most. This is 150. This is crazy.
And the best thing about it is when I first started playing Warzone, which was like a couple months ago, a little bit after it came out, I was experiencing a lot of frame rate dips. They fucking fixed all that shit, dude. I haven't experienced one frame rate dip at all, or no type of lag due to there's 150 players. At first I would get a lot of lag in the beginning of the games because
Right.
a lot of fucking people there. But they optimize the shit pretty fucking well, where you don't get any dips. You can keep the quality. Every once in a while, you get a couple. Ooh, you get a couple textures that that are kind of blocky when you're like aiming down sights, but it's because this shit's like 500 meters away. You're looking down a fucking
Right.
32 times whatever sniper scope. Your shit's not all gonna load at the same time. And also, I have a regular PS4. Maybe if I had the PS4 Pro, it'll fucking look better. It'll the textures will already be there. I don't know. Either way, this is fucking amazing. I like it. I love playing this shit. And now I bought the whole game, and I love playing multiplayer too. Spawns are much better than World War II. I find it more rewarding and more immersive than what's that one game called, Andy? Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 4, the previous one. And they got the cover system, which I actually fucking like. Which I don't know if it's brand new, but you can mount your weapon on shit and have
Oh,
it.
that's neat.
Yeah, you can mount your weapon, and it downs the recoil a lot. So if you get like they just added the Fennec in there, which is the Vector from Modern Warfare 2. You probably remember that. That was one of the best guns. It was my favorite gun in Modern Warfare 2. They just added that in the game. That bitch got recoil for days, bro. But you mount that bitch, you gonna murk somebody.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that tonight.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and have Andy update us next week on Warzone. And there's crossplay, Andy. So if you want to play together, no homo.
I know you want to play with me.
Okay, all right, and we're just gonna skip over that. And
on to the next. What do we got next, man?
Oh, we got John with the movie of the week.
Oh, sweet. Yes, that's right. He has The Lodge.
Take it away, John.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing good. Looks like this week we're going to be talking about The Lodge. It's going to be the second feature film from the Austrian director duo Severin Fiala and Veronica Franz. Holy shit. This movie is creepy. It looks like after a spectacular turnout from the feature film Good Night Mommy, which came out in 2014, that film is currently streaming on YouTube for free. Definitely suggest checking that one out after you check this out. It's a fantastic horror film, and it's free. Why wouldn't you do that? After that turnout, it's clear to me that this duo, they have a firm grasp on, what they shine in, and, I think that's horror. With the help of cinematographer, I don't want to butcher this, Themios Bakatadis. He's helped work with director Yorgos Lanthimos. He's done The Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Lobster. He's helped shoot those flicks. So, the atmosphere in this movie is palpable. It's creepy, almost to the point of sterile. With the help of a painfully slow moving camera and, up close and personal shots, this film has such a psychologically creepy vibe to it. I know it was filming around the same time as, one of my favorites, and, I hate to make comparisons to other films, but, due to the use of, some incredible, doll houses and the cinematography in this film, it's so slow and it's so brutal. This film feels a lot like Hereditary to me, and I adore that movie, so right off the rip, I knew I was going to enjoy this. It was rad. I really like this movie. I think if people got a subscription to Hulu, they should definitely check it out. If you've got the time, if you want to be creeped out while you're eating some snacks, doing whatever, you're quarantined, if you want to be scared, this is the movie to check out. It's super psychological. It's almost a burden to take on the journey, to go through it. It's super heavy. And it's a lot to take in, but it's definitely worth the watch at the end. Especially in terms of a decision, towards the end, the director's making. It takes, such a dark turn, such a twist. That was shocking to me. I was dumbfounded. I was floored by this movie. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. The acting in the movie is fantastic. That should be given credit to, the directors. Minus a little bit in the middle, where it gets slow, and, the acting, there's not a lot going on. Besides that, the acting's spot on, and you can tell all of our actors, they knew, who their characters were, down deep. They knew what the characters were, were made of. Especially Jason Martell. Major shout out to that guy. He plays Billy in the new, Muschietti, It films. He's the main character. He was rad in this. This was sick. The kid he's heartless and brutal. And I really feel like he knew kind of the, how would I say, like the inner workings of the character's mind. Riley Keough and all the supporting acting in this film, spot on. Everything about this film felt real. I found myself just creeped out. Just actually legitimately scared at times. The acting, the cinematography, the writing's fantastic. So I'm gonna, without spoiling it, let's try to get into the story, and I'll try to keep the spoilers to a minimum. So after a marriage ends, we're introduced to a father and who has decided to see another woman. After the real mother, who we've met, isn't seen in the movie anymore, and you're shown why. Let's just say the film starts off with a bang, and that's all I'll say. So we're introduced to the father, and we're introduced to this new woman, who he intends on, making his wife. And so we're introduced to them and the children. So the father decides that he wants to have the kids and the stepmom spend some time together. And the kids end up digging up dirt on the stepmom. So we find out that the stepmom is the sole survivor of a cult, and is still dealing with, some post-traumatic stress disorder of, surviving those events. And, she's on some medication. And so at least one of, if not both of the children, intend to exploit that. So while spending some time together, the father, he's called away back on business. So he ends up leaving this cabin that they've decided to spend, a week, in over Christmas break. He decides to go back to the city and, knock out some work. So after he leaves, it's just the children and the stepmom together, and that's when things just start to unravel. Things get downright creepy, supernatural, just strange things start to happen. So one of the things that happens, the mother, like almost everything in the house ends up going missing, including the stepmom's medication. So after that, things just get dark. And there's a bit of a twist at the end that I didn't see coming. I'm really not trying to give a lot away. I really think people should go into this film almost blind. I was on the edge of my seat literally almost the entire movie. I found myself genuinely scared at points. And being the big fan of horror movies that I am, that doesn't happen very often. And so when it does, I really relish in it. I really like this movie. And I think anybody who wants to be creeped out and has some time, I think they should, especially if they're quarantined, with all these, these cases rising. I think it would be good to, draw back the curtains, maybe find a snack, and enjoy this ride. I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for any other projects that these directors decide to take on, because I had a blast watching this. I can't suggest this one enough. I've been trying to find something like this for a while. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I definitely suggest if people have a subscription to Hulu to check this one out. If you don't, that sucks. Check out Goodnight Mommy by this directing duo. It is streaming on YouTube for free. So definitely check those out. Once again, hey, major shout out to everybody listening. I want to thank you guys for your time. Hope you guys are staying safe, staying sanitary.
All right,
until
thank
next
you for
week.
Hitting us
Enjoy
up
the
with that
movie.
of the week review, John. We're gonna take a quick break right now, and we're gonna, go play with each other real quick. Pause.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna get some coffee. I don't know what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna keep eating these Baconator Pringles.
Have at it, man. All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So the second half of this episode, we're gonna go into the conspiracy of the week. David, what are we talking about this week?
Let's see, Andy. This week we're going to talk about, is Big Pharma hiding the cure for cancer? Or is anybody hiding the cure for cancer?
I would imagine that Big Pharma possibly has a solution, and they don't want to give it up because it's how they make money. Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much money involved. I 100% believe they have the cure. Or at least a really good treatment that is effective enough to cure the cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And
all right,
so
and that concludes.
That concludes conspiracy of the week. Yeah, no, we already said our thoughts. Might as well not fucking go into it. Fuck you guys.
But I mean, there's so much information about this specific conspiracy. It's the Big Pharma conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I'm sure most people. See, the thing is, most people believe this is true too, because this survey, they did a survey. We're in the Worldwide Cancer Research.org. They said that a survey suggests that over a quarter of Americans believed this to be absolutely true, while a further 1 in 7 believe that it might be true.
That's right. So let me talk about this specific theory. It consists of a group of conspiracy theories that claim that the medical community in general and pharmaceutical companies in particular, especially large corporations, operate for sinister purposes and against the public good, and that they allegedly cause and worsen the wide range of diseases. It's almost like we're guinea pigs to a point. So it's also known as the Big Pharma. It's just that term refers to the collective of the global pharmaceutical industry. Unfortunately, the term has come to suggest a demonized form of the pharmaceutical industry. So
Yeah,
a lot of people don't trust pharmacies and medical industry.
with good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
So
trust us. Don't come over there. I don't want to see you either.
this theory has 4 classic traits, okay? Number 1, the assumption that the conspiracy is
Think about it.
is about a small
Go ahead.
oh my god, I can't even talk.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You got it? You want me to do it?
Melevant cadre.
Yeah, so
So
what Andy's trying to say is they're assuming that people are saying there's a single cure for cancer, and the worldwide cancer research, which is obviously very biased on this topic, saying that this is true. Cancer is not just one thing. There's a multiple spreadsheet of this shit.
well,
Very diverse.
I'm talking about like it's the assumption that this conspiracy is controlled by a small specific organization, kind of like the Illuminati.
Well, that's not a small organization. And
sure,
yeah,
it is. It's just a
we're
small little
not
group.
gonna talk shit about the Illuminati.
No, man. If anything, I'm like impressed by them. Go right ahead, man.
Yeah, dude. I just need $10,000 for a down payment on a house. That's all I need.
As a click of the button will, fix my financial issues.
Holla at
so
sponsor
theory,
sponsor episode.
Sponsored by the Illuminati. Come get some. So the part 2 of the 4 classic traits is the belief that the public at large is ignorant of the truth. Right?
Yeah, I mean, where are you at? We're not in the same thing. Where are you at, sir?
Classic trait number 3 is that that it's believers trick or treat lack of evidence as evidence, right? So people that they're like, oh well, you pick or it didn't happen, and then classic trait number 4 is that the arguments deployed in support of the theory are irrational, misconceived, or otherwise mistaken. So again, it's about like hard facts and evidence, and the organizations, the medical industry, it's just so massive. Like it's hard to, if you're not part of it, it's hard to have facts to prove them wrong or prove them that you're causing harm to others.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, man. Well, so what you think?
Well, I mean, I was on the other website. Probably more in there. Well, I think the biggest argument is that there's a lot of money involved, which is my main reason to believing that there is a cure or at least something that's effective for it. There's so much money involved, and it's not only, well, I guess big pharma means everybody, but it's not only just pharmacy wise, because we sell the medicine, we supply the people with the medicine that can treat the cancer, that minimizes the symptoms of it, but the doctors too. There's a lot of doctors that are cancer doctors. They specialize in a certain type of cancer, lung, testicular cancer. I don't know a lot of cancers. All right, they would be what they would do. I mean, they'll just be like, yeah, we diagnosed you with this. Here's this. Well, I'll never see you again unless you get cancer again, and then we'll give you this shit again. There's too much money involved, and then pharmaceutical companies, dude, we gotta make money. We gotta sell drugs, and then even worse is the fucking insurance companies.
Yep.
The insurance companies make even more money on this shit, on the cancer, because they got the hospital, visits, all that stuff, doctor visits, all the machine shit that the test, blah blah blah. And then they got the fucking pharmaceutical side too, where they get money from that shit as well.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that if they do come out with a quote unquote cure for cancer, fucking something has to go up. And it's 100% going to be the insurance company shit. They're gonna the fucking monthly payments or whatever are gonna go up like a bitch. If there is one that comes out or a really good treatment.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the human body is nothing but like a chemistry set, and everybody's different. Because one chemical combination is good for me, but it's not good for you. You know what I mean? And when it comes to doctors, all they're doing it's educational guesses because they don't know 100%. Statistically, it's like the chances are there's a 99.9% chance that this will fix you or this will get you better.
Yeah, it's like
but it's never 100% because it's not how it works. So cancer is basically a name for a group with over 200 distinct diseases, as you were talking about, David. Because there's not just one cure for cancer, because cancer itself,
it's not just one.
It's just a common term. It's a blah 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 cancer. It's whatever it is.
Cancer just means an unregulated growth of cells.
Mm-hmm.
They don't stop dividing.
Yes.
Or they don't. Yeah, they don't stop dividing. Yeah, they don't stop dividing, and they just keep growing and growing. And they can get a tumor, and that tumor can be benign or it can be malignant. Which malignant, it's really really bad. Benign, just take it out and you should be good.
Right. But yeah, there's so much that we could talk about. With the medical field out there. I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything.
Yeah. But used in graphic design, and you print out paper.
Yeah, I am an artist. I am not a doctor.
I want to touch on one thing before we get out of this segment, Andy.
Okay, what you got?
That is the morbid side of this. Now, as much as I want to believe that they do have a sort of cure, really good treatment for cancer, I don't want this shit to come out. And this may sound really, really bad. And guess what? You missed the time for David to care. That was yesterday for only 2 minutes. I don't care anymore. If they start curing the cancer, people are gonna live. And we already got enough people in this motherfucking world. And unless we got Elon Musk going to fucking Mars and start a fucking colony, and we can bring a whole bunch of people over there, we're gonna run out of shit. All right, and David's not gonna be able to buy a fucking house because everybody wants to fucking live in their house until they're like 120 years old. Fuck y'all. Please do not bring the shit out. I need the cancer to keep going. We need people to die. We got the coronavirus here. It's not doing good enough. We might need another Holocaust if it's real. That we're gonna touch on that one day. If the Holocaust is real, we need another thing, because if this shit does happen and they do fucking cure cancer, we're in for a shit show.
Well, I tell you what, if you want to watch a movie based on this, I would recommend Asylum by Matt Damon, and Jodie Foster is in this. Have you ever seen that, David? It's 7 years old. No?
No.
So it's a American science fiction film, and the film takes place on both a ravaged Earth and a luxurious space habitat called Asylum, right? The film itself offers deliberate social commentary, which explores political and sociological themes such as immigration, overpopulation, transhumanism, healthcare, worker exploitation, the justice system, and social class issues.
It's out there. Huh? What subject do you want to cover? Yes.
I think it's perfect. As a matter of fact, I want to watch this movie again because I enjoyed it. So basically, what happened was that Matt Damon, his character, had like a disease, I believe, and so he ended up getting like some type of exoskeleton suit, and then he like went upstairs, to the went upstairs to the asylum. But anyway, yeah, it was based in 2154. Basically, everybody lives on Earth is in poverty. The whole planet is in poverty, except for the gigantic space habitat up in Earth's orbit. That's where the rich and powerful live, and they got a machine that you can lay in, and it cures you.
Nice. Oh well, not nice this situation.
But they only have it up there. They didn't send it down to Earth to cure people that are disease ridden.
Oh, that's what's happening now. Except it's not up in space. It's just in some pharmaceutical companies like backyard.
Exactly. So I won't talk any further about this, but I would recommend that you watch Asylum. And
I recommend something for you, Andy. I recommend
what you got.
You see the movie 2012. Everybody die.
2012. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch this shit again. It was fun. Everybody died, Andy.
So it's 2012, right? And it came out in 2009.
Yeah, and I was really looking forward to it. And fucking disappointment struck.
But David, everybody didn't die though. The human race,
most people died, and that's exactly what we need. We need most people.
The whole Earth just like broke up. It was crazy.
And that shows, it was nice. But let's see, Andy. We're gonna go to our next segment, our last segment.
Okay, what we got?
Hopefully, you don't break up with me. Haha. What makes us mad? Andy, what you know what made you mad earlier?
I woke up at 10:30.
No, that's different from what I was talking about. It's when I try to correct when I did correct your mispronunciation of the word validity. Andy was reading before we started the episode. Andy was reading one of whatever the fuck he likes reading and shit, and he said you try to say the word validity, and he said validity, and we're doing this on Zencaster, so we're not in person. But when I tell you, I look deep in this man's soul in disappointment. He has 2 degrees. First of all, he's like 40 something. He owns like 17 cats. He's not the man in the relationship, and he has 2 degrees. And this man can't even read the word validity correct.
Hold on, David. You broke my mic.
2012 all over again. Why Andy's doing that?
All right. You listen here, man. Now, reading has never been my strong suit. Okay, it never has. It was actually a problem with me when I was a kid.
Yeah, right. It's called dyslexia.
I probably have it, but I don't know. I never got tested for it.
Oh man,
because back in the day when I was a kid, they were like, "Oh man, you just can't read." Wasn't really a thing. Like ADHD wasn't a thing. It's like, oh, your kid's just hyper and you can't focus. Like that wasn't a thing either.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't a real thing. They would just get into their dad's 8-ball cabinet.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't go to school for speech. I didn't go to school for reading. But so that makes. Does that make you mad when people correct you when you're trying to speak?
So yeah, I'm one to talk about Andy's retardism, but
Yeah, like you have like partial strokes sometimes when you're trying to talk.
Yeah, dude. There's a couple days where I have to blank out for like 3 minutes because I cannot think. But
Yeah.
sometimes when I am speaking, I just cannot say a fucking word. My main example is trying to say vinyl. It took me. First of all, I have to mentally prepare to say that word because
I,
even when I
I
say it,
heard the hesitation on it. You're like vinyl.
yeah, no, it scares me every time I have to. Every time that word is lined up in my next vocabulary, it scares me. But even when I say the word correctly the first time, I second guess myself and I say vinyl. Because nobody taught me the correct way of saying it when I was little. So I would then just fucking throw one out there, and nobody fucking corrected me until I started working in the pharmacy, and everybody's like, "No, you're stupid." Um, but see, I have an excuse, Andy. You could blame it on your dyslexia, or you're flipping of words or whatever the fuck. I like to just blame it on I speak two languages. Fuck you. I can say it in Spanish. Even if I'm not able to say the word in Spanish, fuck, what are they gonna do? Test me? They don't know. They don't know Spanish. So I just say I speak two languages. Fuck you. And guess what? It gets them off my back. So I have a really good fucking excuse
Oh,
until I have
yeah.
somebody that speaks Spanish, and they're like, "All right, say it in Spanish." And I'm like, "Binal." So I
Yeah.
have an excuse, but yeah, it shit makes me mad low key because I know that I'm stupid, but I'm not retarded. But sometimes I act retarded instead of stupid, and it frustrates me. So yeah, it makes me mad. But you speak one language and you can't even say the shit right in the one language that you speak.
Well, here's the thing, David. I you tell me that I need to stop reading so much, but here's the truth. Before we started doing this podcast type thing, I didn't read. Like, my saying was, I know
Did,
how to read. I just
really,
don't read.
really, did you didn't read or you couldn't read, Andy? The one that
I don't read for pleasure. Like, I would always have like a video or audio as a form of content. So we've been doing all this research for this podcast, and that has progressed me to get better at speaking, and it's also got me better in reading and cold reading too. That's a whole different situation. A lot of the stuff that we do, honestly, is cold reading,
I
where
can
we
cold
don't.
read the fuck out of anything. Mostly because I never had a microwave when I was younger, so all my shit was cold. But see,
Started
Andy,
at the bottom, now you're here.
we're still at the bottom. so, Andy, I had the same issue because I didn't learn English first. I learned Spanish first, and
Yeah.
I started to
Yeah.
learn English a little bit when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
So what helped me out, especially reading and like pronouncing words correctly, is watching movies or TV shows or whatever in English with the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm reading the subtitles, and they're saying the words out loud, I would hear how it would sound, so then I could connect that with my mind. Oh, vinyl is vinyl instead of vinyl, even though I still make the
Vinyl.
mistake
Mm-hmm.
because I'm an idiot.
No, you just have a habit. It's an old habit. But that's actually a very good technique. Did you discover that on your own, or did somebody tell you about that?
No, it's just I live in a. I used to live in a. Well, I still live in a Cuban household, but I'm the only one here. But back in the day, when there was multiple people living in my house, them motherfuckers was loud. So even if I had the TV up, I couldn't hear shit. So I just, I just started using the subtitles, and then even when there was nobody in the house, I just liked the subtitles, so I would always keep it on.
Okay.
That's what I would do, and I still do it to this day.
Oh, sweet.
But yeah, you should start doing that because you're 40 years old and you can't even fucking read correct.
Heartless. Jesus.
Hey man, it's the truth.
It's not the truth.
It is. It is, Andy. Unfortunately for you, that is the
Anyway,
truth.
you know what else makes you mad is you.
Yeah, no, I'm fucking stupid. I make the stupidest decisions.
All right, so what do we got coming up next week?
Let's see. Next week, Andy, our game of the week is actually a DLC. It's Marvel Spider-Man: The City Never Sleeps DLC on PlayStation. So you're not gonna be able to do that. So
No.
Andy, I'm gonna give you an extra week to play Warzone, and I'm gonna worry about this Spider-Man DLC because I have a PlayStation.
It might take me like half a week to download that. Apparently, it's over 100 gigs.
If I could download it in 30 minutes, you could download it faster.
Well, I gotta find a spot to put it. Jesus, man, 100.
I'm just worried that you won't get past the fucking start screen because it says press X to start. I don't know if you could read that.
David, I swear to God. So Spider-Man DLC. All right. What about the conspiracy? Well, I guess we're gonna be doing a Malaysian airline 370, the plane that vanished.
Oh man, that sounds like a documentary name. Oh shit, it is a documentary name.
It is a documentary name. So there is a documentary out there because it vanished 6 years ago or something like that.
Nah, dude, was it? I thought it was longer because I remember dude, Malaysia has like a whole bunch of flights. It was like 13 years ago or some shit, or 12 or 10, something like that. It was double digits, I think.
Okay, so no, it's an investigation in the Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 that disappeared on March 8th, 2014. With 239 people on board. It just vanished.
Disregard what I said. It wasn't 12 years ago.
So there is a documentary. It's less than an hour long, and I'm pretty sure we can find some information on that bad boy.
Hell yeah! Yeah, I'm gonna watch that, and then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna talk about how this plane disappeared, and nobody fucking knew how.
That's right.
But let's see, Andy. I think that concludes our episode.
Okay. So all you listeners out there, all you beautiful people, remember we are on lots of different platforms, including Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, all the jazz, including our own website, notgoodenoughpodcast.weebly.com.
And even all you beautiful people that listen to this podcast, if you have friends that don't listen, that are ugly, tell them to, listen to the podcast so they become beautiful again.
That's right. Make sure you quote David. Hey, he called you ugly, so listen to him.
Yeah. Obviously, this man knows what he's talking about.
Clearly.
I mean, honey, have you seen the mirror? The mirror doesn't want to see you.
It keeps on.
Think about it. Go ahead.
You look at the mirror, and then there's like.
Jeez, even when you don't have to read, you're still slow as shit.
Every time you look in the mirror, there's like static, like because it just doesn't work.
It's just buffering.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh my God, there's lag on the mirror. Anyway, that's our show. Thanks for listening, everybody. We are 15 episodes in now. What an adventure this has been.
Time to do this for the rest of our lives, Andy.
That's right. Don't quit your day job, David.
Let's see, Andy. Was that good enough?
I think we're almost to the bar, but we're still below.
Okay. Well,
so
that's not what you were
supposed
to say. Yeah,
it's not good enough, man. It's not good enough.
Okay, that's not what you're supposed to say either. Let's just how about you? You say it. You asked me.
All right, David. Is that good enough?
It'll never be good enough. And that's how you say it. End quote. You guys have a good night.
Later.